Listen up, because I won't repeat myself. This garden cart is your new best friend. It's not just a tool, it's your mule, your pack horse, your lifeline when the world's gone to hell and gas is a fairy tale. You want to survive, you learn to use this right. Look at it. Flatbed design, sturdy as hell, built to take a beating. The sides fold down so you can load it fast and unload it faster. And those tires, big, pneumatic, meant for rough ground. You try hauling a cart with tiny plastic wheels over a field of rocks, and you'll be picking up the pieces by sundown. A good cart is worth more than gold out here. A bad one, it's kindling. You use this for everything. Hauling in the harvest before the storm hits, moving firewood so you don't freeze your ass off come winter, salvaging supplies from the ruins of some abandoned town. Hell, I've even used it as a stretcher when we had a man down and no time to spare. You can stack it high with gear, turn it into a mobile workbench, or drag it behind you like a sled if the wheels give out. But if you overload it or let it fall apart, you're back to carrying everything on your back. And trust me, you don't want that. Here's how you do it right. Load it even. Heavy stuff on the bottom, light on top. Tie it down if it's shifting. Last thing you need is your supplies bouncing out halfway back to camp. And watch your terrain. Hit a rut wrong, and you're dumping half your load in the dirt. Keep the tires pumped, the axle greased, and the frame reinforced. A squeaky wheel isn't just annoying, it's a sign you're one bump away from a broken cart. Last fall, we had a storm rolling in. The crops were ready, but the sky was turning black. We loaded this cart up with everything we could, potatoes, squash, whatever we'd grown, and got it all under cover before the rain hit. The idiots who tried carrying armfuls, half their harvest rotted in the mud. We ate that winter, they didn't. A garden cart turns one person into a team. It saves your back, your time, and your energy. And out here, energy is the difference between making it and giving up. But here's the thing, this cart won't last forever if you don't take care of it. Let the tires go flat, let the frame rust, let the bolts loosen up, and it will fail you. And when it does, you'll be the one left hauling your supplies by hand while everyone else is already safe and dry. So check the tires, oil the axle, reinforce the weak spots. A garden cart is only as good as the care you put into it. Neglect it, and you'll learn the hard way what happens when your tools fail you. Now, who's ready to load up? Or are all of you just planning to struggle under the weight of your own stupidity? Listen up, because I'm not wasting my breath repeating this. This pitchfork is one of the most underrated tools you'll ever use. It's not just for farmers, it's for survivors. You want to move hay, turn compost, clear out a shelter choked with debris? This is your tool. And if some desperate fool comes at you, it's a damn fine weapon too. Look at it. Sturdy handle, long enough to give you leverage, but not so long it's awkward. Tines sharp enough to pierce a bale of hay like it's nothing, strong enough to pry up rocks or shift a pile of manure. A good pitchfork is balanced. Too flimsy, and it'll bend the first time you put real weight on it. Too rigid, and it'll snap like a twig. You want something that can take a beating and keep working. You use this for everything. Turning compost, gotta keep it aerated or it turns into a stinking useless sludge. Moving feed for the animals. Try doing that by hand and you'll be at it all day. Clearing out a collapsed shed, a pitchfork will save your back and your time. And if you're smart, you'll use it to sift through rubble too. Ever tried digging through wreckage with your bare hands? Didn't think so. Here's how you use it right. Grip it firm, but not so tight your hands cramp up. Stance matters. Feet shoulder width, knees just bent enough to give you power without throwing your back out. Lift with your legs, not your arms. Swing it smooth, like you mean it. Stab the tines in, lift, and toss.
No jerky movements. That's how you end up with a broken tool or a pulled muscle. I remember last winter, the compost pile was freezing up and the crops were struggling. Spent a week turning that pile with this fork, getting the heat back into it. Saved the next planting. And when those raiders came sniffing around, thinking they could take what wasn't theirs, let's just say a pitchfork to the chest convinced them otherwise. Out here, every tool is a force multiplier. A pitchfork turns hours of backbreaking work into something manageable. It keeps your compost alive, your animals fed, and your shelter clear. But it won't do you any good if you don't use it right. So keep the tines sharp, check the handle for cracks, and don't treat it like it's disposable. A pitchfork won't do the work for you, but it'll make sure you don't burn out trying. Treat it like trash, and you'll be the one stuck in the mud. Literally. Now, who's ready to learn how to turn a pile without throwing their back out? Or all you just here to watch me do the work? Listen up, because this isn't a story. It's a lesson in staying alive. This hand-cranked mill is the only thing standing between you and an empty stomach when the shelves are bare and the power's been dead for years. You want bread, porridge, anything that'll stick to your ribs and keep you moving? You'd better learn to use this right. Look at it. Those grinding stones, or burrs if you've got a decent one, are what turn hard wheat berries into flour. The crank, that's your engine now. No electricity, no gas, just elbow grease. And that adjustment knob, that's how you decide if you're making fine flour for bread or cracking corn for the chickens. A cheap mill will jam, overheat, or spit out grit that'll break your teeth. A good one, it'll outlast you if you treat it right. You use this for everything. Wheat, corn, barley, doesn't matter. Feed the grain in slow and steady, crank it smooth like you're turning a rifle bolt. Too fast and you'll clog it. Too slow and you'll be at it all day. And if you're smart, you'll use it for more than just grain. Dried herbs, spices, even coffee if you're lucky enough to have any left. But you clean it after every use. One speck of mold, one bit of rot, and your flour is poison. Oil the crank, brush out the stones, and keep it dry. This isn't some kitchen gadget, it's your lifeline. I remember the winter of '23. Snowed in for weeks, supplies running low. We had a sack of wheat left, just enough to get us through if we rationed. But it was whole grain, and no one's eating raw wheat. This mill turned that sack into flour, and that flour turned into bread. We ate. The folks who didn't have a mill, they starved. Out here, food isn't something you buy, it's something you make. And this mill is how you do it. You grow the grain, you harvest it, you grind it, and you bake it. No middleman, no store, no excuses. But here's the thing, a mill won't do you any good if you let it rust up or fill with filth. I've seen men trade their last bullet for a handful of flour because they didn't take care of their mill. Don't be that man. So learn the rhythm. Feel the flour between your fingers. Smell the bread baking from grain you grew and you milled. That's survival. But neglect this tool, and you'll find out what real hunger feels like. And trust me, you don't want to learn that lesson the hard way. Now, who's ready to turn the crank? Or all of you just planning to chew on raw wheat like animals?